I do love the sun. Lord knows I do. But it is actually in my eye. So I got the sun, the brightness from the sun, vitamin D, but I also got some brightness from some snow too. So I'm going to let my team know. Malik, I will be right back. I want to close my blinds. All right, all right. Oh my gosh, let me just say this. In the past, like when I was first starting out as a coach, getting trained as an executive coach, and entering into this wonderful world that I love so much, I would have never done what I just did. Like to be going live and then turn off my camera and go close my blinds. I wouldn't have done that. Anybody have any guesses as to why? Because I would have been in performance, right? I would have been in performance that said, oh my gosh, I got to do this right. This has got to be okay. It's not okay to just turn your camera off, right? And that is so appropriate for this conversation we're going to have today. So, welcome back to another Core for Coaches. CORE is an acronym. I love me some acronyms. An acronym that stands for Collaborative Opportunities Rising for Everyone. Collaborative Opportunities Rising for Everyone. And I love collaboration. I'm so grateful that my team members nicknamed me the Queen of Collaboration. Yes, I mean, collaboration just makes stuff easier. Just makes stuff easier. And if you want to know more about that, how you actually can land clients, including corporate clients, how you can be exposed, if you will, to more opportunities, reach out to me. I'm happy to connect with you. Just connect with me through iclirising.com. So I am so grateful to be here. I am Sophia Casey. I am a master certified coach. I slow down on purpose when I say master certified coach. And this whole journey to master certified coach, to the MCC credential, it's been a journey. This journey has taught me the power of not being in performance, the power of not being in perfectionism, the power of being connected to the people. Listen to all those P's. What? There's another acronym. And I'm grateful for that. I'm also very proud to be the Chief Empowerment Officer, the CEO of ICLI Rising, which is our ICF multi-accredited coach training school. We're so very proud to be able to say multi-accredited coach training school. We are accredited for CCE, so continuing education units, if you will, or credits. We're also level 1 accredited, which supports coaches with going to the ACC credential, the Associate Certified Coach credential. We are also level 2. Yes, we are level 2 accredited, which supports coaches with pursuing their professional certified coach credential, their PCC. And I am so grateful, and I can't wait to tell you all the details. I'm so grateful to say, and in 2026, we have level 3 coming. You're welcome. All right, so let's dive into this conversation. Give me a moment just to check in with you, make sure I can see you just fine. Hey, Coach Femi, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just saw Coach Femi. We actually just came from a coach education session. It was so good, a coaching education community call. I got one more later this evening. And then I'm going to share some stuff on this platform, on all my platforms, about coaching education and what a wonderful journey it has been to be a leader in that community. It's the ICF Coaching Education Assessor Community, and it's been amazing. And today is my last day in that role. It's not my last day with the community, but it's my last day in the role. And I have been in this role for over 2 years, and it's been incredible. So I'll make sure I share some links with you. Look, make sure you have that little bell somewhere turned on my profile here so that you don't miss any updates, because I'm going to share quite a bit with you about coaching education, coach supervision, mentor coaching, and some awesome things coming down the pike in 2026 from the ICF. So, all right, let's dive into this conversation. So last week, I kicked off this series around the new 2025 ICF, International Coaching Federation, core competencies. Core competencies. Who knows what core competency number 1 is about? Put it in the chat if you know. I don't want to be out here by myself. Who remembers what that conversation was about? All right, I'm going to give you a moment. I know there's a slight delay. Give you a moment just to drop that in the chat. Okay, so yes, we talked about core competency number 1, which is around ethics and ethical standards. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your DMs. Thank you for your WhatsApp text messages around how that really supported you. And I'll keep bringing it so long as it supports you. Today, we're going to dive in around core competency number 2. Core competency number 2. I remember way back when, I guess that was 2019, when the International Coaching Federation revamped the original core competencies, and they added this new core competency called embodies a coaching mindset. I am not kidding. I know I'm such a nerd about all this stuff, but I am not kidding. I was so very excited because the core competency talks about us as coaches. Even though we definitely know, right? Our work is so focused, totally focused on the client. But I'm just so grateful for the ICF that they actually, took a mirror, gave us a mirror and said, oh, well, take a look here. How can you support yourself, coach? So it embodies a coaching mindset, which is core competency number 2. Want to dive into that. But before I do, I want to know from you, what would you use what word would you use to describe your mindset as a coach? I want you just to drop it in the comments. If you had to choose just one word to describe your mindset as a coach, what would that one word be? I shared this with the assessor community today. So my one word would actually be sunflower. Sunflower. And I'll share why. I'm going to give you a moment to put your one word. So if you had to choose one word to really characterize, right? Characterize, or what word embodies your coaching mindset? So I said sunflower because what my wonderful colleague, Coach Delphina, has taught me is that the sunflower, one of my favorite flowers, the sunflower, as it's growing, it automatically turns to the sun. Woo! Oh my gosh. Then another wonderful coach colleague of mine, a graduate of our ICLI Rising Coach Training Program, Coach Prudence, taught me is that if for some reason the sunflower cannot get to the sun, right? Maybe there's something blocking. You know what the sunflowers do? Anybody know? I'm so fascinated by this. Okay, just be with me. Do you know what sunflowers do? They turn towards each other. If I had a mic, I would drop it. So sunflowers naturally turn towards the sun. Okay, so let's say it was cloudy one day and they turned one way. As soon as that sunshine comes out, they know to turn towards the sun, to turn towards the light. And if for some reason there's no light, they turn towards each other. to be fed. So my word is sunflower. When I think about my coaching mindset and the coaching mindset that I want to embody, it is that I want to embody the type of coach that, first of all, takes care of herself. And secondly, that supports clients with turning towards the light in themselves, right? The light in their village, the light in their community, turning towards the light. Maybe their spiritual beliefs, their culture, turning towards the light. And also knowing that they are not alone and they actually have a lot of support and resources to where they can actually turn towards each other. And I'm so grateful that we have co-created such a wonderful coaching community. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we as coaches know that support is sexy, to coin a phrase from the wonderful Elaine Fluker, that we can turn towards each other. Okay, so let me check in with you all. Okay, Coach Demetra says, hello, PCC, says that her one word would be seed. And Coach Demetra, now you know you done got my curiosity going, so you know I want to know more about that. What I just did there is a great best practice as a coach. I didn't just put in what I think Coach Demetra means by the word seed. Now, we all know what the word seed means, right? I'm not going to assume. So you see what I did? I asked her, please share in the comments. I want to know more about your word seed. Thank you so much. All right, Coach Veronica. Yes, I was teasing of Veronica and sharing that. I love to say Veronica. Coach Veronica says flowing. Oh, that's one of my words right there. Flowing. Now I know what flowing means for me. I just got something too from that, Coach Veronica. Even just saying the word flowing feels good. And if I were coaching Veronica, what's most important is what is her definition of flowing. What is Coach Veronica's definition of flowing? Thank you for sharing that, ACC. I love to highlight our credentialed coaches. Thank you, Veronica. I'm going to check in on one more. Let's see. I got seed. I got flowing. Okay, Coach Cheryl. Yes, another credentialed coach says partnership. Oh, my goodness. Now, if you go look at the ICF core competencies, I have not counted. If you go look on the ICF website with all the information and resources around the core competencies, I believe the word partnership is used more than any other word. Well, probably the word the, but let's not get too specific. Partnership, because partnering with our clients is so important. Now, if we're coming from performance, or we're coming from consultant and giving them advice and telling them what to do and leading them and telling them which way we're going to go as we start the coaching conversation, that's not so much partnership. That can create a hierarchy. Okay. If I were coaching Coach Cheryl, I would want to know what is her definition of partnership. So yes, I just gave that to you, Cheryl. What is your definition? All right, Coach Josh says, ooh, shadow. Now, my curiosity is going, ooh, it's actually purring. I want to know more about that, Coach Josh. What does that mean? Another graduate from our level 1 accredited coach training program. What does that mean, shadow? Okay, I want to know. All right, so I want to offer you, I'm going to check back in and then I'm going to offer you some more. So let's see, that's okay. You can put that up. That's all right, Malik. Awesome. So Coach Demetra says, hey, Coach Sophia, it's a way of challenging the client and allowing them to decide if they want the new idea or way of thinking to take root. Okay, let me just say this, Coach Demetra. That's MCC level stuff. I'm just saying. So she offers that what she means by seed and her coaching mindset is to co-create this space where she actually has permission to challenge her client. Well, where she co-creates a space of allowing them, if you will, where they get to decide if they want to move here or here or here to a new idea, or a new way of thinking. And do they want that new way of thinking to take root? I know I come here to offer you all stuff, but you all teach me so much. Thank you, Coach Demetra. I am taking that. I encourage you all to take it as well. Thank you. That was powerful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I promise to check back in, but I know I just have a little bit of time left, and I want to make sure that I give you some gems. First of all, get that out the way. So to give you some gems, okay? So why mindset matters now more than ever. Now more than ever. Because mindset is about your ability to stay grounded. It's about how you handle uncertainty or emotional intensity, not just as a coach, but as a human being. It's about your capacity to hold space without needing to fix. Well, somebody just put the word fix, F-I-X in the chat. Fix. So you all know, besides being the director of training and the owner of a coach training school, I'm also a mentor coach. I'm an assessor. I assess coaching, coaching supervisor. So I have the opportunity to listen to a lot of recorded calls from coaches who are pursuing their ICF credential. And I will share, it's rare, but I have heard some coaching calls where the coach has, let's just imagine the coach and client are on a road trip, okay? And the client is driving, the client's in the driver's seat. But I've heard some coaching calls and some things that were said in the coaching call where my picture of it is that the coach literally went over to the client and snatched them over to the passenger seat, and then they got in the driver's seat. And many times what is coupled with that, like getting in the driver's seat, leading the client, is this thing called fixing. Thank you, Coach Cheryl. Thank you, Coach Josh. Thank you, Coach Veronica. Fixing. As a coach, I'm not fixing anything. You know why? Because there's nothing to fix. Ooh, I know. Clutch your pearls. Every time I share that with coaches, with leaders, because I have the wonderful opportunity to also do team coaching and training team coaches, I tend to get a look like this. What do you mean there's nothing broken? Like, why are they hiring me? Something's broken. My relationship and what we train on in our coach training programs is to relate to the client as perfect, whole, and complete. They just got some goals. Yeah, I know that wasn't grammatically correct as a former educator of 20 years. We relate to our client as perfect, whole, and complete with some goals. There's nothing broken about them. Thus, there's nothing to fix. Nothing to fix. I'm going to just leave that right there just for a moment. I just want you to marinate on that. There's nothing to fix. And I hadn't planned on giving this to you, but a great practice that you can do, and this is for coaches, for leaders, for entrepreneurs. When you are in a conversation with another person, well, I guess that's what a conversation is, Sophia, but when you're in a conversation with another person, I want to challenge you to listen from a place of they, this other soul, is perfect, whole, and complete as they are. And they might have some goals. I want to challenge you, parents, even when you're listening to your children. I'm taking this for myself, for my grown child. When you're listening to them, to relate to them as perfect, whole, and complete, and they might have some goals or some things that they want to change or move forward. But there's nothing to fix because they're not broken. Leaders, I'm challenging you too. As you interact with your team members, what is possible if you come from the mindset that there's nothing to fix? Nothing to fix. Okay, I'll get off that soapbox for a moment. Let me just check in really quickly. Yes, Coach Femi says, nothing is broken. Absolutely. Nothing is broken. So if nothing's broken, there's nothing to fix. Guess what? I don't have to be in performance. I don't have to be nervous. My confidence doesn't have to get shooken up, right? Because I am coaching the C-suite executive who's literally brilliant in terms of information technology. I don't have to fix him. I don't have to perform. I don't have to be the expert in information technology in order to support him. Tech, I know how to turn on my computer and turn it off. And I do know how to get here because of Malik's help and Josh's help. And I know how to get on Zoom. Okay? So my expertise around technology isn't even close to his. And it doesn't have to be. Can I still coach him? Can I still support him? Absolutely. Because there's nothing broken, as Coach Femi says. All right, I'm going to move on because it's almost time for me to go to my accountability hour. All right, so what's changed in the 2025 updated ICF core competencies? So first of all, I'm happy to say I've been sharing this everywhere I can in all the communities that I'm in. There are not major changes from the 2019 version of the ICF core competencies and these new updated 2025 version, okay, of the core competencies. But I want to offer you just a few things to consider. Okay, so what's changed? There is a deepened focus on reflective practice and lifelong learning. I love reading one of my colleagues, Marsha Reynolds, her book, and listening to some of her videos around reflective practice. I love having this conversation with my colleague and co-founder of the International Black Coaches Alliance, Mike Rochelle, where we're talking about the benefits, the enormous benefits of having a reflective practice, that you're always learning. You're always taking a look over here, not from a place of making yourself wrong or from a place of there's something to fix, but to check in with yourself. That's why coaching supervision is so important. Secondly, there's an increased attention to bias awareness and cultural humility. Now, was there already language in the core competencies around that? Absolutely. And the ICF, and I'm grateful that they did this, took a deeper dive. They're calling us forth even more. Number 3, an emphasis on coach self-regulation during sessions. Whew. Self-regulation. What does that mean to you all? Put it in the chat for me. More of an emphasis on the coach being able to regulate their own emotions. Why? Because that coaching conversation is about the other person. It's not about me. Okay. Oh, there's my reminder. Wrap it up, Sophia. Okay. Also, number 4, they did expand the definition of being open, curious, flexible, and client-centered. That was all, those words were already in the definition from the older version, but in the 2025 update, you'll see that they've expanded that. Again, calling us forth to really be genuinely open, genuinely curious, genuinely flexible. I'm curious, what comes up for you if your client comes to the coaching session, and in terms of leaders, like one of your team members comes into your office, like how are you being in that moment? As a coach, I want to make sure that I'm being open to whatever it is that they want to talk about, work on, discover, take a look at. I'm also being flexible. I listened to a recorded call once where, and I actually experienced this in a coaching session where I was the client, where the client started the conversation with, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want the focus to be. And then a few minutes later, they went over here to this. Then a few minutes later, they went over here to this. And then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Not surprising with me. I love to have a lot of glittery fun stuff. Okay. And the coach, not you all, the coach said something to the effect of, no, you said you wanted to work on this. How about we go back to that? Yes. Leaders, this is for you too. When your team members come to you and say, hey, this is what I want to talk through. This is what I want to explore. This is what I need some support around. Not immediately putting in what you see. All right, I'm going to get off of that, Malik, before I get into some trouble with my coaching and leader friends here. So I want to offer you just a couple of mindset pitfalls, if you will. Okay. So one is having the mindset that I need to have the answer. You don't need to have the answer. Number two, having a mindset of, but what if I mess this up? How can you mess it up? If you are honoring the ICF core competencies and you're being ethical and you've gotten formal coach training from an accredited coach training school, right? You have the tools to be curious, to lean back. And what is there to mess up? And number three, I want to offer you that a pitfall, mindset pitfall, if you will, of my client isn't going deep. They're not going deep enough. So I must be doing something wrong. I want to offer you that there's nothing that you're doing wrong. It is their session. It's their conversation, and they're in the driver's seat. So what I'm going to do, I get to go to my accountability call and support some coaches and myself around being accountable and growing our businesses. But I want to leave you with this. This week on Thursday, I'm opening up my Zoom for 1 hour. I'm inviting any and everybody, anyone who wants to come. You have a question about something. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not training, just connection. You want connection, and I know at this time we all could use some connection. You have some questions about coach training, about your business, about consulting, about anything, or you just want to listen. You can stop by anytime between the hours of 12 and 1 Eastern on Thursday. And my team is going to put all the information, all the logistics down in the comments. I cannot wait to see you next time. Thanks for showing up. Ciao for now.